Hello, my name's Lee Freeman. Welcome to the very first episode of Business Freestyle, where we focus on small to medium-sized businesses, what they're doing to grow their business, what they've done, what they're accomplishing, how they're setting themselves apart, and hopefully it's a chance for them to tell their story and for you as a business owner, to learn and to grow from it. And thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you many more times in the future. Let's get started. My very first guest, and excited to have her on here, is Miss Olivia Smith with Custom Outdoor Furniture and Restrapping here in Garden City.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. and well, look, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
We've had a chance to do some work together.
Yes.
And
for a while now.
Yeah, and you've seen tremendous growth. And one thing that's real common in smaller or local businesses is the family business dynamic.
Yeah.
And you guys have really are reaching an accomplishment. I mean, it's hard enough to start one, to make it profitable, to accomplish, to go to second generation, but you represent the third generation. So kind of the theme today in my mind is a transition, because I know y'all are the business started as one thing and it's transitioned and added on. The business had to make did a big transition after COVID, which a lot of businesses have done, and now they're transitioning into laying the foundation and paving into the third generation. And and that all represents a lot of hard work. So just to kind of give us a little introduction, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go forward.
So I'm Olivia. I am 30 years old, and I am married to my husband, Dennis Smith, and we have two dogs.
Awesome.
A Basset Hound named Fred, he's 11 months old, and a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, Hank, and he is 6, and they are absolutely wild. But, the business has been my life the past 5 years or so. It's funny that you choose transition, because I feel like my time at Custom Outdoor Furniture has strictly been transition since the moment that I started full time. It's pretty crazy how, just to see how much we've grown in the past few years too. So, it's really humbling.
Yes. and exciting. Now, and we're going to talk about that, because I know you feel a responsibility and pressure and excitement all at the same time. And but I'll say I've met Fred. I hadn't met Hank. Fred's really cool.
Awesome.
For those of my generation who remember the Smokey and the Bandit,
Yes.
Fred of
Just
the
like
movie.
him.
It's like, is it Fred's like great grandchild or something? But Fred's really cool. He's the
Super cool.
He's the mascot of the business, and he can show you how to be leisurely.
That's right. That's what we're all about, casual furniture over there.
That's it. And he leads the way.
Yeah.
So I want to do something. I don't want to embarrass you, but I want to, recently you were recognized. I've got this in front of me because I want to get it right.
Yes.
We're recognized by Home Furnishing Magazine, their list of 2023 top 40 under 40 in the industry, and just kind of what it said in the recognition. This thing has been in its 10th year. The prestigious 40 Under 40 program recognizes and celebrates the industry's most accomplished young leaders who are committed to business growth, professional excellence, and civic responsibility. We hope you feel proud to be among the best and brightest talent who are shifting the landscape of the home furnishings industry. There'll be a spotlight in their magazine this month, actually the July-August edition. They've got a slideshow on their website, if you want to go there and see her slideshow. And there'll be a reception to honor you and the other folks that have been recognized, I guess, at the big show at High Point and the High Point Market in October. So tell us about that for just a moment.
Oh, gosh. It's just so humbling, really. I mean, I've only been in this industry for, a short amount of time, and to already have some recognition, which, just is shocking, really. But to really be, categorized in, the group of these wonderful individuals that have been recognized, this round and in past rounds before, it's just very humbling. We are doing, we're going to High Point, and they're having, a recognition dinner and everything. It's actually in October, on my birthday, which is pretty funny.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yes.
Birthday present.
Yeah, but I think it's human nature to crave that recognition, but to have received it so early, I didn't expect it, and I'm just very, very grateful for.
Well, I know,
it's an honor.
I know your mom, Sam. She's very proud of you, and I know and Greg, your uncle, everybody is, and it's good recognition for the business.
Yeah.
But you guys have been involved in industry things, and you're trying to always improve, and you don't always see yourself the way others see you, that shows that just like you've been a leader there in the business, you've shown yourself to be a leader in the industry and participating in committees and things like that, and various and giving input to the future. And I know this is home furnishings, but you guys kind of specialize in what the category of that in that industry is what?
So it's actually the home furnishings. It's all of furniture. So it's not just outdoor furniture, which is what we specialize in. So and there've only been a few honorees in outdoor furniture so far, and to have been nominated, and I'm one of the 3 that are from the casual furniture industry this year, and I was actually nominated by Jackie Hirschenot, and she is the head of the ICFA, which is the International Casual Furnishings Association. So it's this big group of all of the outdoor furniture retailers, sales reps, manufacturers, all of that good stuff. And we just get together and have a pretty great time, honestly. Happy hour after every day at market and stuff like that. But no, it's a really great opportunity for networking, and just to have been nominated at all is just really great.
Well, you said something really important there, and I'm going to take it to one side because, again, part of the goal of the business freestyle, I mean, business owners have to do a little bit of everything, and you have to be flexible, but often I run into businesses that do not invest time, energy, or money in going to industry events, being involved in industry associations, or sometimes even professional development type things. How important do you see that, and how committed are you to continue to do that in the future?
That is one of my top priorities always. If you're not growing, if you're not trying to get better, then what are you doing with your time? And if you don't plan to be better, then how are you going to get there? So I think professional development and mentorship, I think, is really what makes the world go round, especially in business, because people want to share what they know, and especially if you're hungry for it, then people are always they want to help you. So what's really cool about the ICFA is that it is just that. Like it's an older, kind of group. There aren't that many young people in casual furniture, which has actually been recognized by Casual News Now, like I've been talking to Alex Milstein about that, and kind of, you know, how to get young people interested in the industry and everything like that. So it's, but it is an industry of mentorship. That is what it is, and that's what's so great about it too, though, is that no one sees it as competition. Everyone's trying to help each other, which is really very awesome. But, you know, professionally, of course, like through the business, it's, you know, that professional development is very important. But also personally, if you're not, you know, like I set my own goals, you know, quarterly, yearly, monthly, you know, and I try to do that for myself and for, you know, my family and my marriage. And it's very, very important, because if you're not communicating it, then how are you gonna make it happen?
No. I think that's great, because I mean, again, one constant theme I see with folks that I work with in the business coaching arena and in the peer advisory boards and strategic planning is 98% of them are involved in their industry leadership, you know, and have been from the beginning, and see value in it. And I would take a moment to encourage, if you are watching this and you haven't put a priority in that in your business, I guess I'm hearing from you, you should do it. You should do that.
Sure.
So let me ask you this. Well, so what's your favorite part of the business right now? I mean, what area are you looking to improve or grow in?
Oh wow, what a loaded question. We were just talking about how we have our idea notebooks, and mine's like busting at the seams, you know, business wise. But I think something that I'm really excited about is partnerships.
Yes.
So we're also carrying some new accessories and things like that, trying to really, you know, get into a different market. You know, just because millennials, we're not quite there to go and spend as much money, you know, on luxury outdoor furniture as, you know, some retirees that moved down here. And like, I understand that. I get it loud and clear. So, but I'm just trying to kind of reach a different market. So, you know, we're bringing in like cordless outdoor lamps and, you know, beach pillows, like ballast beach pillows. We're bringing in like Kanga coolers. We have Brewmate, you know, coolers and koozies and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Really kind of trying to hit a different target, just to at least get them in the store. Like if they come in, then hey, that's a win right there, even if they don't get anything. So just to be able to connect with them. But I'd say that, and then so with bringing on those more accessories and stuff has brought on more partnerships. So I just got married in 2022, March of 2022.
Nice.
And my wedding planner, shout out to Ash Events. Y'all are the best. Ashley and I, Ashley Newkirk, we are really trying to make things, you know, just really connect, and where you wouldn't think that a wedding planner and, you know, outdoor furniture.
Where does that get together?
Like business would really connect or have anything like to benefit from each other. But, you know, so we got some extra lamps and things like that. And so we're going to actually like rent them for weddings and, you know, just to kind of be like known for that, you know, partnerships like that. And I'd like to kind of do a little bit more like with real estate agents. I have a few friends.
Well, I want to ask, because that's really cool. And you say lamps. I mean, just give it a little more. I mean, it's a cool thing. You see them on TV. Actually, I've noticed now that you've shown me, I see them on TV all over at different things. There are no cords to it. It's about, you know, so high, and it looks really elegant. It looks better than a candle. It looks better than a It's
They
not
would
high
really
enough.
light up the area.
They really
It's
light
pretty
up the
cool.
area, and it's not something that gets in your way.
Yeah.
And it's just part of this next generation, and you seeing, I love how you saw it at the show. Okay, put in the store, that's great. People like to get them, but now but wait, there might be a need. That's
Yes.
these would be really good at these events. And is
Having
anybody
just
doing
planned a
this? And it's
wedding, yeah.
and you saw a need that might be cool. You connected with them, and you kind of got your first thing going, and it's kind of a little will be a revenue stream going into the future. And that's a great example of freestyling it for sure there, and doing that. So tell me it's third generation. So tell me a quick story of custom outdoor furniture. Obviously, grandparents started it, and so how did they go from there to here?
So my crazy old grandfather, Carol Holzhauser, we call him Daddy Carol. He's both of my grandparents have since passed, but in 1979, Carol was driving the Boulevard in Myrtle Beach and saw some aluminum frames that were on the side of the road, like lounges, and they had busted straps. So he picks them up and takes them back to his garage and figures out how to restrap them. And so then it was Furniture Restrapping was born, and it was they operated out of his garage, like most budding businesses. And then Mama Jane did the books and stuff on the kitchen table upstairs. So, and then my mom, Sam, so she came in, I want to say early 90s. So she came in and figured out how that, hey, we could sell some new furniture. And so then from there, they were like, all right, well, we need to get, a storefront, and things evolved over time. And now we've been in business for 44 years. We have luxury brands that we carry, good for beachfront, a Carolina room, what have you. And, like I said, like now we're trying to bring on just more things. We're trying to be bigger, do better, always.
And, so that's one. I love to hear stories on how businesses start, and it's so cool because so few people take that step to do it. Almost everybody thinks about it at some point in time. It's kind of like, oh gosh, I need to get out of here, or I want to do that, or I want to do this. But he saw a need, started it, built it. Obviously, he learned to be a good business owner. He did very well, established a strong business. He allowed the creativity and ideas of the next generation. Now, so I want to use this to transition and kind of talk about family business. So what family members besides yourself work in the business?
So it is myself, it's my mother, Sam Cox, and it is my uncle, Greg Holzhauser.
Okay, super.
So it's just the three of us as the ownership. But we have, a family of great employees we're very blessed with.
Well, and I know that I've been in there enough, and I know y'all that it really has a family feel, and a lot of small businesses do, a lot don't, but I do think that they seems to be a happy group for the most part, and enjoy doing that. So, talking about family business, a lot of this struggles. There's a lot of backdoor stuff that goes on. There's a lot of times where the next generation maybe comes in out of obligation. Sometimes they are ready for business. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they go straight to the business. Other times they work somewhere else and come in. I know in Sam's situation, she kind of had a career and worked in the advertising world for a little bit, and then came in there. So did you go straight into the business, or did you do something else before you went into the business?
Yeah, so I graduated from University of South Carolina in 2015. I kind of floundered for a bit, just like most people do whenever they're, 23, and then I moved back. I moved to Market Common, and I started working at Inland Affairs, and I was an event manager, and planned weddings, did all sorts of events, and got some really great opportunities. We catered the CCMF one year. We did the Wings Over Myrtle Beach one time with the Blue Angels and stuff.
Yes.
So we had some really cool things, to get to be a part of. Get to be backstage and everything like that. It was really, really, really neat. But also, it taught me a ton about, first off, how to throw a party. I can throw a party. I mean, just
is that a necessary business skill?
Absolutely, it is. I mean, it shouldn't stress you out.
Right.
But your party is as good as your resources. So it's all about all about your team of help. But
entertaining. So you enjoyed the entertainment part of it.
So I did that for maybe about 4 years or so, and then came on. But it was definitely a nice transition. But whenever you're fresh out of college, it was a really fun job. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Well, and you learned how to work for other people.
Absolutely, yeah.
You learned how to be part of a team.
Yeah.
There are folks that are philosophically that are really feel very strong that somebody's coming in, they recommend that they go work somewhere else for 4 or 5 years or longer before they come into the business. Yeah. Would you agree with that? I mean, do you?
For sure. You don't want to. It's like if you just come in straight into a leadership role and you've never had a boss and you've never it doesn't create a good leader. You're kind of setting yourself up for failure, and then I feel like your employees might not respect you quite as much just because you stepped out and straight into ownership and stuff. You kind of got to work your way up for even as a in a family business. You need to work your way up and really know how to do everything. Because I didn't just come in and start making big decisions. I worked the floor, and I've answered the phone, and I did the dirty work or whatever. And really, you have to get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
So.
No, and again, I think that's because in what I hear from you, you wanted to come work in the business. Well, let me back up. I want to ask you: was it something that you felt like you were obligated to do, or was it something you wanted to do?
Growing up, I had all these ideas that I wanted. I wasn't gonna do the family business.
Right.
First I wanted a bakery, and then I wanted to be an orthodontist. And then I wanted to be a wedding planner. So, and then then I'm kind of like, once you kind of you've worked long enough that you're like, this really might not be a bad idea to go and join the family business. So I'd say yes and no. Once I kind of matured a little bit, then I was kind of like, hey, this might not be a bad idea. But I'm happy to be here now. So it's really great.
Yeah, well, and I think that's really good points that I wanted to ask you about. And you so you've been working in the business there for a while. You worked somewhere else, and you're in a leadership role now, and is clearly on the trajectory of being the next generation. How are you adapting to that, And do you feel excitement, pressure, both? How's it changed your outlook? Because it's kind of been clearly defined now.
I think everyone, kind of going into such a big leadership position, everyone kind of starts with a little bit of imposter syndrome where, you're kind of like, am I really do I have the skill for this? Can I really lead this team into the future and, we can all be great together. But it goes away with time. But I think really getting a solid team together, I'm as good as the people that I surround myself with. And I will always stand by that. But, the transition has been, bumpy at times. You just focus on one thing at a time. That's all you can do. One day at a time.
That's good.
One step at a time. One project at a time. And we just got the biggest project behind us. We just got a new point of sale system.
Yeah.
And boy, that was a challenge.
Well, Olivia, let's kind of transition and talk about some of the business dynamics a little bit.
Okay.
And how did COVID-19 change your business?
So COVID, we only shut down for 2 weeks. The required 2 weeks, and then we were like, okay, well that wasn't that bad, and then we're still dealing with some of the kickbacks from it, with of course supply chain issues. There was we couldn't get a lot of the fabrics. I know a lot of people know about that. Yes. Even with indoor furniture. But with outdoor furniture, we couldn't get some of the fabrics. They couldn't get the foam for the inserts. I mean, it was, and then with, all the tariffs and stuff from China, yes. It really impacted us. And there was a time where, some of our manufacturers were out, the lead times were, one of them was a year, some of them were 26, 27, 32 weeks. And so then we were buying all this stock,
yes,
of course. And so then now, we have an overstock of, some furniture and stuff in our warehouse. And so then all of a sudden these, manufacturers are wanting early buys from us this year, and we're like, all right, y'all need to pump the brakes. Yeah. we don't have the space.
Right.
We need to sell some of our stock, now. So yeah. It's been a challenge.
So you had to kind of change your buying style completely and your strategy. But did it affect your retail sales at all? I mean, has the growth in Myrtle Beach, because of kind of, as people agree, is a residual from that. Many people are trying early. And how has that impacted your dynamics of what's manufacturing, what's retail?
So we have been very fortunate to really not feel right after, whenever everyone else's business was down, we didn't really feel a sting. It was kind of the opposite for us. Everyone is at home. Everyone was redoing their living spaces. Everyone was spending a lot more time at home and outside, and they were, redoing their patios, and everyone wanted furniture. And so, but they wanted it right now. And so we were thankful, that we had stock and we were able to get these things and provide them right then and there, because we do sell off the floor, and it's just hey, if you want this furniture, come get it. And so retail really skyrocketed. But then the hotels, because we still do, we're true to our roots. We still do the repairs, restrapping, reslinging. We'll try and fix your umbrellas. If you got a problem, 99% of the time we can fix it. But the the hotels and the commercial businesses and stuff, they really kind of pumped the brakes on, of course, spending, because people weren't traveling, people weren't staying at hotels. So they really had to, lock up their finances. And, so while the retail just really took off, the commercial went down, and then it's kind of like, then retail plateaued for a little while, and then commercial went back up. So it kind of like went opposite. It was kind of crazy, but because then all of a sudden, whenever people felt comfortable to travel again, then all of a sudden these hotels, they have all this money again to spend. And so then they're redoing their entire pool decks, all their balconies, all this kind of stuff. So, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, as for everyone, but with furniture, it was an outdoor furniture.
Right.
Is really unexpected.
Right. Well, sometimes we do things in our business that are a result of great planning and we strategize and it goes well. And let's face it, every now and then we are just in the right place at the right time, but we're prepared. Well, they say opportunities when preparedness and or luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet. Yeah. And so you weren't so much lucky as you were prepared, and the opportunity came along, and you were able to meet the need and transition to it. And
we're very thankful for our warehouse and storage, and that we had so much stock. So.
Yes. Well, and it's beautiful stuff, and you guys are used to working in the higher end market because you service resorts, HOA pools, and HOA furnishings and that type of thing. So what you carry is not low. It's not low quality stuff. It's built to last for years and to be used a lot. And,
so everything that we have carries a warranty, manufacturer's warranty. And the thing that people often don't understand is that like a commercial warranty is going to cover like liabilities if, say, someone breaks, like sits in a chair and the chair breaks, and then someone sues you. Then you have the backup from your manufacturers, and you just can't get that with Walmart or big box stores.
Right.
It's not going to cover anything like that happening. And whenever that, and it's like you think it's not a big deal until it is a big deal.
Right. And that's a great point. And matter of fact, I didn't know that. That's a good selling point.
Yeah.
So again, you've got your uncle. He kind of is the operations, operations, and
he kind of does runs the shop. Oversees the shop and repairs and the strapping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then also deliveries as well.
Right, manages all that. And your mom, Sam, her role is?
She is the CEO and CFO with her nice big titles that she doesn't feel comfortable with, but
I know. But
so she likes to be the one to say the buck stops here.
Right.
So she kind of keeps her finger on the finances and stuff like that. But
well, I want to two things I want to make sure we talk about: this transition to the new system, and then kind of how you guys go about working on your business. Sure. But you alluded to it a little earlier. So tell us about what it was and what you've kind of learned through that process, and what you've how it's impacted the business.
It's been over a year we've been working on this, changing systems. Thankfully we got ahead.
This was your point of sale?
Our point of sale system, and we changed our accounting, our books and everything. We were using
two biggies:
QuickBooks Desktop, and then QuickBooks Point of Sale, which is also desktop. So nothing about it was cloud-based. So you had to be at work to work. You have to be in the building connected to their Wi-Fi on their network to work, which made it very hard to travel. And, if our employees, while we're off networking and, being part of the industry, if they have any questions, then we're like, sorry, just print it and put it on my desk. You know, I'll see it when I get back. So that was a big, big transition. And thankfully we're part of the TAB board. And we received, we got in connection with Steve over at Supportive Strategies.
Yep, that's Supporting Strategies.
And
Steve Manns.
Yeah, and so he has really helped us make this transition. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with it, just because we had over, oh my gosh, like 9,000 items in our old system, and we got it down to like 2,500. Switching that over, and then we had 20 years of customers in the system that we then had to get over. And had to clean those up and everything. But I'm thankful for Alex. He's our logistics manager. Him and I kind of would close ourselves in my office and be like, all right, no one can enter.
Right, enter at your own risk.
Yes, because we're just trying to dive in and literally dissect it and figure out how this system's going to work for us. But I'd say just kind of like we still have to use the old system, like just for like lookup of history and things like that. And every time we open it up, we're like, oh my gosh, we're so thankful that, this is done. Like we're not using this anymore.
Yes.
So impact, I mean, of course, the change in teaching is still ongoing, of course.
Right.
But the impact of that transition, that was, I think, the biggest transition that I knew as soon as I came in that needed to happen. That was my number one. And so now that that's kind of behind us, now I'm able to finally take a breath and focus on, more of the fun stuff, the partnerships, accessories, and more of, what I'm actually excited about, because no one's excited about point of sale systems and transferring technology like that.
Numbers.
It's not exciting. So we just kind of had to put our head down for. I mean, it was like a year.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think every owner can relate that at some point in time. As you grow to different stages and as you need things to help you along, and technology is always changing, but a lot of it is just hard work to have to just grind it out. But you need someone though that owns it. That's their.
I'm like, it's the system we use is called Fishbowl, and so like I'm like the Fishbowl hub. Like if anyone has questions, they come to me. So.
Yes. But you were also able to, you were telling me a little bit about create some teaching modules and things as you did it, so that and even processes within the business that will allow for better onboarding and training when folks come on board. And
so I've made a handbook of training and everything. So if you have any questions of how to do anything, you can just go to the book, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. And those books often need to be re-evaluated often, because since I wrote those instructions, like I've figured out easier ways to do things and kind of workarounds and stuff. But eventually, I'd like to get that in video format.
Yeah, I was going to say, but still, that's a big pro tip there, because so many owners I deal with or leaders in the business, they're more the center of the universe than they are the master of the universe, so to speak, in that all the knowledge is in their head, and everybody has to come to them for everything.
Yeah,
and it's a real struggle to get processes down or why or how things are done down, and so you kind of intuitively just did that while y'all were putting that together. And I mean, I can't imagine the amount of time and hours that saved you from people coming and interrupting you.
Right.
Where now you can just point them to go here first.
Right. Like I said many times, is that I was building it while I was flying it.
Yes.
So it was a lot of that, but if you don't set up yourself for success like that, to be able, you want your business to run without you. Like that you aren't the center of the universe. Like you said, like not everything should come across your desk, for approval or for just for functionality.
Correct.
And that is a huge transition that we've really, really been working on.
It's hard.
Is from my mom. It used to be that she used to say it all the time to me, even as a kid, that everything in this business has to come across my desk, and I was like, all right, well, that was one of the first things whenever I got in there. I was like, well, we're going to stop that because that is overwhelming you, and that's not good for anyone.
Yeah.
No one should have that much pressure.
But I think it's just naturally sometimes the way she probably saw her dad run it that way. And then she was
and Mama Jane,
because
she did the books and everything like that. So
I mean, you definitely need to know what's all going on, but there are things you can put into place that because it allows you to grow and do that. Yeah,
delegation is key.
Yeah, and that's a good transition and kind of last part here. So what do y'all do? Because that is ways to work on your business, but do you do anything structured or intentionally as far as how do y'all work on your business?
So we are part of TAB, like I mentioned before, and we're working through the modules and really kind of restructuring from the ground up with you.
and that Strat Pro, the strategic planning process.
Yes, so the Strat Pro, and we nicknamed ours Strap
Pro
for restrapping. Little dad joke there, but it is really so beneficial. We've been very fortunate, so we do one-on-ones with Lee, and then we do the group meeting with your key decision makers later on, usually in the same week or something. And those one-on-ones are so helpful, and they just really set you up for your meeting, for your group meeting later, for whenever you have all of the, all your key players that are then meeting up together and, really kind of giving it their all and thinking of, how to, maybe are you restructuring, like your leadership, like we're in, transition. We're trying to, think of a transition, kind of an exit strategy for retirement, and really just kind of, like I said, you're planning for the future, and that's what I feel like Strat Pro is doing for us, and it is fabulous.
Well, and I know I've been, and again, I don't want it to be totally a shameless plug, but it really is the dynamic. You've made a big step. That's a big transition for the size company. You invest the time, the effort, and energy, but the trajectory of the company is determined by the leadership team, not just a person.
Yeah, and it kind of like helps you figure out who exactly your team is too, because the ones that that stand firm, like they're there for you, and it's really Excellent. Very comforting.
Excellent.
But to know, even if it's just like redoing like your mission and like all of that kind of stuff, just doing strategic planning for your business to thrive and to like you want to be able to look back at like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and kind of be like, where were we then, and what all have we done since then, and if you're just your head underwater, like just trying to keep your
in the weeds.
Yeah, if you're just trying to make it through day by day, just because you can get that way if you don't set aside time.
Thinking Time.
To be better.
Yes.
Then you're not going to.
Yeah, great. A really good book I enjoy called The Road Less Stupid. It refers to thinking time often. And I think that's hard for owners to stop and have thinking time. That's fantastic. So we've talked about the transition change. And so before we do our rapid fire freestyle thing. What do you see coming in the future for custom outdoor furniture and restrapping?
Wow. Goodness. I mean, there's so many things. I'd like to do more rentals. Maybe some stuff with like beach umbrellas and renting like beach chairs and stuff, like having a pickup station at the store, just since we're only a few blocks from the beach. I mean, like, can I pull out my idea notebook here?
Sure.
But
sure.
just growth. I just want to keep getting better. And like I said, with the partnerships and stuff, I think that is really, because people are going to like share what they're invested in and connected to. And so if you have like partnerships is something that makes that everyone gets something positive back from it. Yeah. And that's how it should be.
It's a big strategic shift for you and do that. So I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, same.
I mean,
thanks for having me.
Again, on these things, I work with you, and I know a lot, and but I learned several new things today, and it's really been great to hear your thought process and your insight and where you're going and your growth and personal development. Yeah. So this is kind of this podcast, the freestyle, but I want to just have a few rapid fire little questions for you. Okay, so. What have you bought for less than $100 that's changed your life in the last 5 years?
Oh, my gosh. What have I bought in the last?
It can be 1 year.
Less than $100. I'm really good at rapid fire, can't you tell?
Yeah. Technology related, clothing related, car related.
Probably technology related. But that's not less than $100. Dang.
Oh, close.
Like my iPad would totally change my life. But
all right. Well, you know what? We'll put a fork in that. We'll go forward. And so, just because you live here, you're a mountain person or a beach person? Or is your happy place?
Beach.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. Water all the way.
So, what makes up a great party?
The people, the atmosphere, and the details.
That's good. That's good.
Usually, details are where people notice.
Yeah. What's a habit you're trying to develop, and what's a habit you're trying to break?
I am trying my hardest to become a morning person.
Excellent.
The
struggle's real, right?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for sure, but I'm just kind of finding that, if you kind of push at it, like just 15 minutes earlier, like every day, then it's a lot easier.
Excellent.
That one's really tough. So the, snooze, I'm trying to do away with, hitting snooze. And something I'm also trying to get better at cooking dinner.
All right.
Yeah,
awesome.
and,
awesome. Awesome.
Doing the housewife duties.
Well, just being together and hanging out.
Yes,
that's it.
At least
it's got to be better. It's got to be better on the budget that way too.
Yes. And something that has changed my life in the past 2 months that I've spent money on has been grocery delivery.
Okay, there you go. That answers my question. There you go.
Changed my life. For sure. I've done it 4 times, and it's the best thing ever. It's wonderful.
That's super. Well, look, you know what? That wasn't too bad for a first time freestyle round. And, I want to thank Colden Blades and for developing and putting together this great little podcast room. And for those of you who want to do a podcast, I'd recommend that you get with Colden and check him out and work with him. And you can find him on Underground Kings, I think, is his personal podcast. And so
it's on Spotify and Apple.
Yes, it is. It is. And,
check him out.
And so he's very, very helpful. And I will say on the final, I want to thank him also too for pushing me. This has been something I've thought about for a while, and like a lot of us owners do in businesses, we think about it. And even though I push everybody, I didn't push myself, but he pushed me because this is out of my comfort zone a little bit, and that's part of growth. And
takes a push.
But I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. And if you're listening and watching and local in Florence or Myrtle Beach and like to be part of the Business Freestyle, let me know. You can reach me at lee@tabflorencemyrtlebeach.com. So thank you, and
thank you.
Enjoy the long weekend we have coming up.
Yes.
And I hope you get to go to a good party.
I'm hosting one at my house on Saturday. It's football season.
Well, it is. That's right. All right.
Football's coming back.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy.